Hello, Africa Bitcoin Conference. I'm Paolo Ardoino. I'm the CEO at Tether and also co-founder and CSO at Hole Punch. Today, I'd like to talk to you about a project that I deeply love, and I hope that after the day you will understand why and you will get as excited as I am about it. The project is Hole Punch and a specific Kit as the first peer-to-peer video chat application. So a few years ago, myself, I've always been excited about peer-to-peer technology. I've been using and developing around the BitTorrent and the Bitcoin for many years in my development career. I've always been excited by the similarities about these two tools. Bitcoin is the most is the safest currency, is the most resilient currency in the world, is the only currency that is resistant to censorship, and is the only currency that is for everyone and not controlled by anyone. BitTorrent, in a way, is kind of similar. BitTorrent was one of the most popular, if not the most popular, file sharing system ever created. The unique part of BitTorrent is its ability to not rely on any centralized part in order to function. BitTorrent proved to be able to reach millions and millions of nodes, more than 20 million nodes at end users in concurrent user at peak, without any sort of centralization. That was beautiful because it showed that file sharing could become unstoppable with the right technology. And over the last years, I've been always looking at and how to reuse and combine these two technologies and reuse them in a more modern concept. Not, of course, on the Bitcoin side. Bitcoin is a currency, but taking some concepts about Bitcoin and applying them on top of some concepts and paradigms that are proper of BitTorrent, but creating something that would be a subtle protocols available and suited for real-time communications. BitTorrent, as I said, was all about file sharing, and file sharing is interesting, is a great use case, but is quite limiting. Everything that we do in our lives is a real-time communication. My video here is that streaming to you is real-time communication. Our voice calls, video calls, chats, browsing the internet, everything is real-time communication. So how we can leverage these technologies, all the know-how that grew in the last decade and decades, in the last 2 decades actually, to build something that would be as important as Bitcoin, as unstoppable as Bitcoin and BitTorrent, but suited for real-time communications. And inherently, that would achieve freedom of speech and the freedom of communication. We all love Bitcoin for the fact that it gives us, to all of us, to all our families, communities, countries, the ability of transact freely with financial freedom, right? Is empowering us in that aspect. And we need, though, something similar on the communication side. And so far, I saw many projects, many private encrypted communication systems, from the most common ones to the less common ones. But all these applications had always a flow. The flow was that at some point, there was a centralization pattern. And centralization is bad in communications because centralization means censorship, the ability, even if you cannot access to the data, you can still censor the access to the communication tool to entire communities. So creating something that is truly unstoppable, resilient, decentralized, requires more effort than what anyone else put so far in communication systems. And so today I'm here as a co-founder of Hole Punch. The other co-founder, Matthias Bus, is a great developer and comes from similar background as mine, always excited about peer-to-peer communications, always is excited about BitTorrent, a great supporter of open source and open source products and tools and libraries, as I am. We both contributed to open source technology for the last 2 decades. So we found ourselves in sharing a lot of this interest. And 5 years ago, we started working on the core concept of Hole Punch, building open source libraries for real-time peer-to-peer communication. Not simple libraries, though. Also, we wanted to start showcasing use cases. So after the first few years, when the technology started to become more and more perfectioned, we launched, and this was 2 years ago, we started working on the first product, part of the Hole Punch ecosystem. This first product was and is Heat. Heat is the first peer-to-peer video, text, audio, chat application ever built. Peer-to-peer in a true sense, right? Everyone today uses the term peer-to-peer in different meanings, but the true meaning of peer-to-peer is basically a reflection of the society. The society is made by peers, of people that interact with each other without any need of any intermediaries. And unfortunately, as I said, many peer-to-peer applications that are promoted as peer-to-peer applications today are just, decentralized applications, but on the paper. But when you look at them a bit more on this side, you see a lot of levels of centralization. So we wanted to do something completely different, right? We wanted to take the hard road, the difficult road, and we wanted to showcase that we could build a chat application that will scale to billions of users with chats with rooms that could contain millions of users in a single room without any central infrastructure, any central server, and so on and so forth. That, in my opinion, is one of the most complex distributed decentralized coordination exercises ever made and built by society. And of course, I'm biased, but I'm super excited about what we achieved. For example, for the Plan B forum in Lugano, the Bitcoin event that was just this October 2023, a chat room was dedicated to the Plan B forum, and has today around 600 members, and each member is able to talk in real time to each other without passing through any centralized infrastructure or any server. That is beautiful because it shows that we have been lied to for so many years. We were taught that cloud is our friend. The cloud infrastructure is necessary for any human interaction. Starting from social media or data backups or collaboration tools suites like Google spreadsheets and so on. But that is not actually true. We are demonstrating with Heat and Hole Punch that this was a lie all along. So with Heat, we are able to let people talk to each other seamlessly. Imagine now today you are listening to this speech. You have a neighbor in your chair, right? You look at the left or you can look at your right, and you can decide to send a message to your chair neighbor. What happens there? Let's say that you're sending this message through WhatsApp or Telegram or any other application that you have installed on your phone. What happens there is that your message will travel thousands and thousands of miles. On average, would travel 5,000 to 10,000 miles just to go back a few centimeters from you. How absurd that is. So the beauty of Heat is that it shows that this enormous travel distance, that every message, every bit of your video communication, video chat or audio chat communications, all these bits are traveling thousands of miles just to enrich data centers that are owned by big tech companies. because without that, without collecting every single bit of information or ensuring that every single bit of information would flow through their systems, then they would not be able to survive and milk your private information. With Kit, the very same message, the very same bits and bytes of that video call would go to the nearby router, to the nearby switch, and back to your shared neighbor. So this is an enormous potential that Hole Punch has. And Hole Punch is releasing on the 14th of February 2024, the San Valentine's Day, is releasing the pair runtime. That is a sort of um, bootstrap template for any developer, any web developer can take the technology that we built with Hole Punch and use it to rebuild peer-to-peer versions of the most loved applications that everyone of us has on his own phone. So this is going to be a game changer for all the developers and I think for society. So thank you very much for your time today. I hope you are going to download Keet on keet.io, keet.io, and please give us your feedback on Twitter and or on the other social pages. Thanks again. Thank you, Africa Bitcoin Conference. Thank you, Yana.